Hello all, in this video, we will focus on the angles related to the parallel lines. That means we are going to talk something about the angles between these two parallel lines. In Chinese is called 平行線. So that notice that for the parallel lines, always we will have AB is parallel to CD. That means we have two straight lines. And also we will draw the arrow here for them to make sure that we know that these two are parallel. If we have more, we will draw more arrows about that. We have called this. We have talked about this in chapter 6. So make sure that you know what is this. Okay, now first of all, we are going to talk about these two angles in this video. The first type of the angle is called corresponding angle. In Chinese, it's called 對應角. What is the meaning about this? The meaning about this is we can see for AB on this parallel at the straight line of this pair of parallel lines, you will see we have the stroke like this, and we have the angle A and make it. And we found that for this angle A, when we slide this one, this angle, when we slide it, once again, when we slide it to the CD, the straight line, you will see, they are all together. They will have the same size of the angle. So you will see this one will show that for two parallel lines, for the corresponding angle, that means the angle on the straight line AB with respect to the angle on the CD with this stroke, you will see these two angles are equal. So you have A and slash to B, so that they are equal. So as a result, we will have a new reason. It's called the corresponding angle. This is a short form of the corresponding, not correction. Angles, and then comma, we have two straight lines. So we must write down AB, the same direction, and CD, the same direction. So we write down AB is parallel to CD, same direction. And the other one is called the alternate angle. In Chinese, it's called 交錯角. It's just the extension of the corresponding angle. Because we know that for D, this one angle, you know that this is the angle D. And then after we move it to the AB, we will see this angle is equal to D. And then with the lesson that we have in the last video, the vertically opposite angle, we will see C will equal to D because these two must be a straight line. So obviously, we will say this one is Z type. So this is just Z. And we will say this one is called the alternate angle every time. So if you see a C, not C, the Z, you see the Z here. You can say this one is called the alternate angle. The alternate angle. So we will have the short form of this. This is ALT, alternate angles, and then we will use the AB and parallel CD. So we can solve the problem with the corresponding angle and the alternate angle. So what can we use in the questions? So we will use this in this teaching example and practice one by one. So first of all, let's go to the teaching example 11.8. You will see, obviously, we are going to find X and Y in the figure. And obviously, you will see X and Y. And then we can write down it immediately. The value of X is 116 degrees. Because we know that this is just a cross and these two are straight lines, so that we can say this is vertically opposite angles. So that we know that these two are equal immediately. And then what can we do is that we are going to find out Y. And we can see, Y must be equal to X. Because you look at this once again, this time we will use the angle here. For this one. So that we slide it to there. Okay, I move it here. And then we move it to here. Just follow this line. And then we know that, this one, these two must be equal, so that this pair of the angles must be equal. So y must be equal to x. So we write down y will equal to x and will equal to 160 degrees. The reason is that the first one I taught to you is called the corresponding 對應角 angles. And then we look at this corresponding angles, and then we can have used the A, B, and the same size, same direction, not same size, to CD. So we have AB is parallel to CD. So we got this y equals x equals 160 degrees immediately, and we solve the problem. Okay, now this is your turn. Now we are going to do the quick practice 11.8 by yourself. Now I will not tell you how to do it first, and I'll give you 30 seconds. Please do it by yourself. Okay, now we will discuss the answer of quick practice 11.8. If you cannot finish, just pause the video now. And now we are going to find out the m and n, the angle of the value of the angle. So look at this. You can have this one is 135 degrees and follow the straight line with the two parallel lines. And then we can know that this one is 135 degrees. And then when we stroke here to here, you will see they have the same size of the angle. So we can write down m is equal to 135 degrees immediately. So the answer for this one, the reason we have is corresponding angles once again, but this time it's not AB parallel CD, because these two straight line for the parallel, we have PQ and RS. So we will write down PQ is parallel to RS here. And then after that, we know that m and n are equal because this is vertical opposite angles. So we can write down m equals m equals 135 degrees immediately. And we know that the reason is vertically opposite angles. So we finish these two questions immediately. So make sure that you know how to do this. Okay, now next, we will go to another teaching example, 11.9. And also the quick practice. Okay, now you are going to find out the angles, find x and y in the figure. So which one we can find out first? I think that x can be found out immediately. So what can we do now is we are going to use this one. Because we can see a z here, right? So we have a z, a, b, and CD, and then we can see this one is just a very beautiful Z here. So we know that the answer for X must be equal to 65 degrees because this one is called the alternate angle in the parallel lines. You can see this Z will include these two horizontal line and these two are parallel. Okay, so we write down X equals 65 degrees immediately. And we can write down this one is still called the alternate angles, AB parallel to CD immediately. So we can solve the problem immediately and how we can know X is equal to 65 degrees with this Z. Okay, and now we're going to find the Y. Obviously, this one is a straight line, so you know that these two must be added together will be 180 degrees. So we must write down X plus Y equals 180 degrees. And the reason for this one is obviously this is a straight line, so this must be adjacent angles on straight line. Okay, so we have this one, and the x is equal to 65 degrees plus y equals 180 degrees. So we know that y immediately, we know the answer for this one is 115 degrees. So we can solve the problem immediately. So you must find out the z here so you can solve the problem. And now we will go to the other part, the quick practice 11.9 for you all. So I will give you 30 seconds. Please try to find out the value of A and B now. Okay, now look at this question. If you cannot finish, just pause the video now. Okay, now look at this. We are going to find out A and B. Obviously, you can see A and 106 degrees. You will see this is they are on the straight line. So, why don't we use the adjacent angles on straight line immediately? A plus 106 degree equals 180 degrees. So you will see this one is called the adjacent angles on straight line immediately. So we can solve the problem. A will equal to 74 degrees immediately. We can solve the this one is 74 and we can write down 74 here. So now next we are going to use the parallelize. Because this reason we do not use the parallelize, so I think that B we can use the parallelize immediately. And first of all, we must draw this Z here. Obviously, once again, this is a Z and these two are parallel, so that we can see two parallel lines for the Z, the parallel of the Z1, and we have the stroke here. So this one is a Z, and we can see these two angles must be equal. So B must equal to A and equal to 74 degrees. And so the answer for this one is called the alternate angles. Once again, this is alternate angles. And look at the parallel line we use is AB parallel CD. So why don't we write down AB parallel CD? So we can solve the problem immediately. Okay, now we will go to the last example and last practice in this video. Okay, this one is called the teaching example 11.10. Okay, in the figure, DE is parallel to BC. Okay, D is parallel to BC, and ADB, okay, is a straight line, and AEC is also another straight line. So first of all, we must find out X and Y. So what can we do is that we are going to find out X or Y in at the same time. So why don't we find out the X? Because if we find out the X first, and we can use the break triangle ABC to solve this one to just find the Y also. But how can we use the X? In case you can find out this one is also the 68 degree also. And then you can find out the Y immediately. But you will find that more step you need to write more step for this one. So why don't we use the last step? Okay, so what can we do? We will use the corresponding angle first. Okay, let's look at this one. We have some triangle here. Okay, now this time we have the right angle here. And then when we move down, follow the straight line AEC and we go down, we will see X is also a 90 degree with the corresponding angle. So why don't we write down first the X is equal to 90 degree immediately. So that the answer for this one is the corresponding angles. This time we look at it, this is DE parallel BC, DE parallel BC. So we use the DE parallel BC here. So we write that X is equal to 90 degree. And then what's Y? Y we're going to find out is that we use the big triangle. In triangle ABC, okay, we consider this triangle. Y, this one, plus 68 degrees, plus X is the 90 degrees, which is 180 degree. Reason is called angle sum of triangle. Okay, triangle. Okay, so we can find out the Y immediately. That is 22 degrees. So we can solve the problem immediately. In case you can find out ADE be 68 degree also, and then you can find out Y, and then finally you can find out X. But you will see 3 steps later, because you must write down this angle, and then you can find this angle, and then you will find this angle. So we will find 68, Y, and X. You need to use 3 reasons. But in case in here, I can use 2 reasons to solve the problem. So why don't we use the one that with less steps, okay? But in examination, never mind, you can find everything, okay? I will not teach my late for every questions if they are correct, okay? So now why don't we go to the correct practice 11.10, and now this is your turn, and now you will have 30 seconds to solve x and y. Okay, now if you cannot finish, just pause here and we will discuss the answer for here. First of all, we must see that there are z here for the parallel lines. What is z? You will see this one is also a z. Although it does not look like a z, okay, this one is also a z. Okay, this one is also z. So that means these two angles are equal. So you can write down the answer immediately. X is equal to 114 degrees. Okay, so this one is called the alternate angles. And then AB parallel CD immediately. You can AB parallel CD. So make sure that this one is called also the alternate angle. This is Z. Okay, every time I use alternate angle, I will say, this is just C. Okay, so you must know how to do that. Z, not C, sorry, Z. Okay, so you can solve the problem immediately. And now we're going to find the X, Y, and 33 degrees. Okay, with the triangle. So we have the X is 114 degrees plus Y plus 33 degrees equal to 180 degrees. And we can write that angle sum of triangle immediately. And then we can write down y will be equal to, this is 147. So the answer for this one is 33 degrees once again. This one is the isosceles triangle. And then we can solve the problem immediately by thinking with the alternate angles and also the triangle. So make sure that we have the 6 reasons now. So you must know all these reasons before you do every question. Thanks for watching in this video. Bye-bye.